Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
These guys in Washington got to get their act together. It's actually a budget and balance. We get that done on a timely basis and give families and businesses some confidence that tomorrow's going to be a better day.
The federal government is now shut down. It's the first one we've seen since President Donald Trump's first term in 2018. Now Americans across the nation and here in Connecticut are asking, how does this impact me? Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Annette Montgomery. Now, right now, Republicans and Democrats cannot agree on how to fund the government from now until late November. They missed the 12:01 a.m. deadline this morning, forcing the shutdown. So that means hundreds of thousands of federal workers won't clock in until this shutdown is over. So here's what to know. Democrats say the spending bill does not fulfill its health care subsidies that President Trump and Republicans refused to extend. Republicans call the Democratic proposal a non-starter that could cost taxpayers more than $1 trillion.
Now, while lawmakers are negotiating on Capitol Hill, Connecticut families who rely on federal programs want to know what happens next. Fox 61's Nick Bradshaw is outside the Connecticut State Capitol. And Nick, you have some answers from the governor tonight.
Yeah, I have those answers. You know, the state of Connecticut has been saving for a rainy day. That rainy day is here. They told us behind these doors they've been preparing for this moment. Take a look. Families in Connecticut who rely on programs like WIC and SNAP are already feeling the impact of the shutdown. The state can step in for now, but not forever.
These guys in Washington got to get their act together.
The shutdown began after Congress failed to agree on a funding plan before the deadline, leaving agencies without money they need to keep everything running. Lamont says the state is covering WIC to make sure food assistance for newborns and toddlers continues.
Probably the later in the month, the more we will know.
But SNAP is different. The governor says that program depends on federal money the state can't replace.
SNAP at $72 million a month. We cannot make up all of this, but this is what I believe will be a temporary shutdown. And I think most of this is going to come back. So I'm hoping that we can backstop and make sure people are, can rest assured that nothing's going to change dramatically for them, at least, through the month of October. We can cover them.
The governor also pointed out that some workers who provide services to the state but are paid through federal dollars will continue to see paychecks. That's about 1,300 of them who work full-time for the state but are federally funded. And Lamont says they won't miss a paycheck, at least for now. If the government shutdown continues, it could impact thousands here. Connecticut has more than 10,000 federal workers, including 8,000 tied to the Naval Submarine Base in New London.
I can't fill in for the federal government if they want to walk away from their responsibilities. If they don't want to stop answering the phone, I can't answer all the phones for them. If they want to stop inspecting hospitals and roads, we're doing everything we can to make sure that continues for the near term. But they have their responsibilities. We have our responsibilities. Honor your responsibilities.
But warns the longer this shutdown lasts, the harder it will be. All right, it's important to note the governor did say for things like WIC and SNAP, there is enough money for it to continue through the month of October. However, this shutdown continues, they could go into a special session. In Hartford, Nick Bradshaw, Fox 61.
All right, Nick, thank you. Now, there are a few government agencies that will continue to work during the shutdown, like air traffic controllers and TSA agents operating airport checkpoints. They are deemed essential. But thousands of TSA and air traffic control employees are working without pay. According to the U.S. Travel Association, the shutdown could hurt the travel economy with an estimated $1 billion loss every week. Fox 61 spoke with Janie Doobie. She is headed back home to Texas, and the shutdown will affect her husband's military retirement benefits. She has a message for all of the impacted workers.
Hopefully, maybe in the end, I don't know if they'll get back paid, but that would definitely be something that needs to happen. So I say to everybody, military, TSA agents, let's just hang in there the best that we can.
Now, Bradley International Airport officials say they don't expect the shutdown to affect daily operations, but many leaders say there may be delays and travelers should prepare.
And in other news, Connecticut has a $2 billion surplus, and leaders from around the state want that money to be reinvested in Connecticut communities. Now, due to concerns over federal cuts, policy changes, and the government shutdown, some say the need for investment in Connecticut communities is bigger now than ever. At a press conference this morning in the Capitol, members of the New England Healthcare Employees Union, church leaders, legislators, and others petitioned Governor Ned Lamont to keep the money in the state. They say it belongs to the hard-working middle and lower class in Connecticut, no one else.
Close to $2 billion have been found somewhere in this state. And we all know where those funds come from. We all know that those funds that have been found belong to the working people of this state. Yeah. Right. And there is no question from anybody here today what Governor Lamont and our legislators should do with those funds. Working families in Connecticut, we need resources and we need policies that prioritize us.
And speakers say they want to see Medicare and Medicaid remain funded without any cuts. They want to see programs like SNAP for food stamps fully funded, and they want to provide protection to undocumented immigrants in the state. And Comptroller Sean Scanlon released a statement following, and he says, quote, while we continue to see positive trend lines from both our state's finances and economy, the unfortunate federal government shutdown that began today will surely have an impact on Connecticut and our residents, especially if it is not resolved quickly. As the crisis in Washington plays out, our office will be closely monitoring the situation and its impact on our budget and economic health. Well, happy first day of October, and with October brings chilly weather, but hopefully soon we'll see some fall foliage. You can see some right here in Manchester.
Yeah, it's starting to turn out there, and you can almost smell the pumpkin spice.
Oh.
But the fall weather won't last all that long. Here's Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank with the first check of the forecast. Rach?
Yeah, we'll see a chill continue to settle in for tonight and tomorrow, but by this weekend, temperatures are already warming right back up again. Here's a look at the numbers out there. 50s for most of the state, but upper 50s in Torrington. And the winds will continue to diminish. It's been a bit blustery at times today, 17, 18 miles an hour, but certainly nothing terrible. That wind due to, in part, the difference in pressure between high pressure over us and Hurricane Imelda in the south. Low temperatures tonight will be settling back into the 40s. There are frost advisories to the north of Connecticut, but not for us. And it's a sunny day tomorrow, another cool one before that weekend warm up. Your full forecast is coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Police are looking for a driver who hit a 76-year-old man in Farmington and then took off earlier today. Officials tell us a white box truck hit a Rocky Hill man at 1 o'clock this afternoon. That man was taken to the hospital just to be checked out. He was not seriously hurt. He is expected to be okay. Investigators say that white box truck was last seen driving towards Scott Swamp Road. Police say the truck doesn't have any known markings and, in fact, doesn't even have a license plate. We'll keep you updated on the investigation as it develops. And a bus carrying 14 students was involved in a crash in Bristol. It happened just before 2 this afternoon on Stafford Avenue, just south of Farmington Avenue. None of the students were hurt, and the driver reported minor injuries. A section of the road was temporarily closed while authorities investigated the crash.
The cause of a factory fire in Torrington Sunday has now been identified as arson. Now police say they need your help finding out who did it. The former stone container on Summer Street went up into flames around 1 a.m. Sunday afternoon. 22 fire departments worked for hours to put the fire out, but the building was destroyed. Thankfully, no firefighters or neighbors got hurt. Investigators encourage anyone with any information to contact them, and you can use their anonymous tip line. And now, following a story we first brought to you yesterday, Desmond's Army animal law advocates are now offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. And that's for whoever left this dog inside of a crate in the parking lot of the Walmart on Buckland Hill Drive in Manchester. Officials say the dog was visibly distressed when it was found Saturday afternoon. Manchester Animal Control is now taking care of him. Officials say if you were at that Walmart, have dash cam footage, or recognize the dog, please contact them.
New Britain police arrested a man today who they say shot a man in the leg yesterday. Paul Girardi is charged with assault and unlawful discharge of a firearm. It's unclear if he's behind bars right now. It's reported a man was shot around 6 last night on Jubilee Street. We're told the victim is expected to be okay. Officials haven't said when Girardi is due in court. In East Hartford, the town recently adopted a new police technology and public safety ordinance. The town is now moving forward with installing license plate readers, traffic cameras, more security cameras, and even using drones for crime prevention. Fox 61's Solene Arif explains the safety reasoning behind this all.
East Hartford police tells me they get a lot of calls about unsafe drivers on roads like Main Street behind me here. On average, they make more than 7,500 vehicle stops a year, but they say they can't stop every reckless driver, and they're hoping new technology can help them out.
It's 8 to 10 officers for 50,000 people. Just about. So East Hartford's a very densely populated town.
Officer Mark Caruso says they've got their work cut out for them. That's why he says it's a good time to embrace the new technology.
We have to leverage the technology as it comes available to us to help us do our jobs more efficiently. It's being used in the private sector, all these different types of technology.
Mayor Connor Martin agrees with him. He says they're doing this to prevent bad driving habits, reduce noise, and make their neighborhoods safer.
Running stop signs, red lights, putting other drivers' safety in jeopardy, loud mufflers, which can be a quality of life kind of issue even to you in your own living room.
While they already have 15 locations with security cameras around town, he says it'll take them about a year to install the rest of the traffic cameras and license plate readers.
This is not an effort to say, I got you. This is really to try to curb behavior.
While the traffic cameras will have posted signs and people can appeal the tickets, cars that run red lights will be fined $25 the first time and $35 the second time. And if you're caught going 15 or more miles over the speed limit, it's the same payment structure.
Per state statute, that money has to be used for transportation improvements, whether it's transportation infrastructure, education, signage, outreach.
He says the cameras are only directed toward public spaces and only law enforcement can see the recordings.
We know that in today's day, once again, privacy and people's data can get put into the wrong hands. So it was a priority of ours to work with council to ensure that that privacy, that data was protected as much as possible.
The next steps for the town are working with the Department of Transportation to finalize locations and sourcing a vendor before anything gets installed. Reporting in East Hartford, Solene Air, Fox 61.